how best do you think difficult separations should be handled when it comes to public boards and the influence of the appointing authority? Where the appointing authority fires and the board says no, or the board fires and the appointing authority says no. What should the board members do? With no reference to any specific board.
Yeah, I'll have to be very careful. But just as you sit here, you're talking about HR things. You've got, you know, Madame Montege there. She does recruitment, so she will answer that. I sat with her on the board. And by the way, when I talk about trends, sorry to go back a bit, you don't get this chance in the examination to call back the paper and say, by the way, I forgot to put that one there. But the impact of oil and gas in Uganda, as far as the talent is concerned, is really very, very, very critical, because you know, it's not only talent of the engineers and so on. I think my friend Adrian here was in that field, but the talent of the technical, very technical skills. You just realize that you didn't have the plumbers, and you've got to import them, and they come as expatriates and so on. And that's it. The other thing that we found, and it is in the EABL and so on, we take a lot of people outside and so on. But Emmy there was in London for I don't know for how long, but some of them don't come back. So you must also say, how do you attract them back once you take them out there? But the difficult question you are giving me, I'll be very, very quick. First of all, I don't think that getting into a job or joining a company is a marriage. Yeah, marriage, they tell you, until who does you? Yeah. So, and interesting, as we're recruiting Anne as the CEO, we're also looking at the succession plan. Yeah. So, the point is that the separation is going to be there. Others is separation by contract. They say, we only need you for 5 years. After that, I don't know the legal part, whether if you're on a contract after 5 years, the contract has ended, whether you are entitled to it to be renewed, they say you were here for 5 years. So the separation is critical. But let me make it can be very, very difficult. In the public sector, I think the way the boards are constructed, or the law in many cases, is that the board is not really, it is empowered, but does not get all the powers. So the chief executive, apart from a few parastatals, agencies and so on, the chief executive is appointed by the board, by the minister, on the recommendation of the board. Yeah? Now, by the way, then anybody from Tanzania. Tanzania is the other way around. The president appoints the chief executive, and the minister appoints the board. So the dynamics there is the separation. So what can I say? If you have to separate, right, and you have to separate at one time, I'll say a simple thing, that it's got to be professional, right? It's got to be, unless, of course, if somebody has been, there's fraud or there is some other malpractice and so on and so forth, that one, the separation is total, and they don't give them notice. You say, you know, come in, bring the IT, cut this fellow off. If you have a key, bring the key, leave the car in the garage, and so on and so forth. But the other separation that goes through resignation and so on should try to be very, very civil and professional. What you should bear in mind, and I'll finish quickly, that you do not know what will happen in future, where this person is going. You may find this person is across the table, the other side of the table. You should always leave the option, you who is separating, and the board itself, that if this person goes and wants to come back, they can always come back. Now, they may not find the position fit for them there, or they may find it. So the separation is very, very painful for both the individual, it's a big challenge, and for the organization. However, all we can say, you should try as much as possible. Although, I don't know whether you asked me this question. I know people here who are better, who have separated from organizations after 6 months. After 6 months. And I know others who have dealt with separation and so on. But this is what it's a difficult one, but you must leave these options open. You should be able, and as a board, your processes and so on. Because we talk about board, we are there. Board is to do with policy and so on and so forth. And then, of course, at a higher level, you are recruiting. You should always try to do that. I said try to do it. It may be difficult, but keep the options open. Do not become, and we have seen people leaving organizations and they come back as board members. Or if they don't go to a competitor, they create a situation where you become partners. they may become your clients, they may become your customers, and so on and so forth. So manage the separation very, very well so that you do not close the doors. It does not become that I have gone, I have not, we'll never meet again, but you may find. I know one organization where somebody was a technical person, I think on Exco, and was appointed a permanent secretary in the same ministry and became the boss of the other one, right? Yeah. So keep all those options open. Unless, of course, there are circumstances where you must go and everything must be closed and so on and so forth. I think that's all I can say. It is so. You mentioned the public sector. In the public sector, because I have always said the shareholder is a very, very powerful person. The public sector, the shareholder is government. It's government. And the government is also a political animal. And therefore, sometimes some of those separations you see have more than, it's not the KPIs you haven't met, but there may be a bit of politics into that. Yes. Do you want any examples? No, we don't have time for that. So
we don't have time. Thank you very much for that, Japheth.